Welcome to the Port's Garrison. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Welcome back to the Port's Garrison. I am PD Port, and I know you've watched part 1 of the presentation by Senator Damion Crawford, and you're excited to see the final part. So, without much further ado, I'm going to let you go right ahead, and here is part 2.
So we go into number 3. They said the cost, high monetary cost of holding the elections, which requires budget. Let us look at this cost. $1.7 billion. Senator Webby, you will remember, December 2022, the Prime Minister with great fanfare announced that Christmas spending to Member of Parliament would be 21 million per Member of Parliament. You multiply that by 63, that's 1.3 billion. Was that Christmas spending to MPs mainly because you had a vast majority of MPs? That bolo work, more important than democracy? Yeah. That was money that you choose to spend. Yeah. Just 2 months ago. We come again. The minister trying to find somewhere to catch former prime ministers of the Jamaica Labour Party said that he's renewing our monetary notes, costing us, some say, almost $2 billion. The only thing introduced of truth is a $2,000 bill, which is of no moment. $1,000 bill is a $2,000 bill. So their personal benefit is that they could now put pride of place on their representative somewhere on the money. That costs almost $2 billion. Is that more important than local government elections? Is that more important than the local government elections?
Is it? Ask again.
Senator, mayor, debater also said that the new parliament is going to be grand and beautiful. Is the new parliament more important than the democratic process? Is that so? Let's go further. Let's go further. Economic environment, and I heard, some people, they lost their jobs, and some people, they lost their business. We know we were at the center. But I can tell you that elections create economic activity. A nice jump for the economy would be you everywhere spending in the bars. I've seen you.
Yes.
I've seen you in Bull Bay. I'm hiding, but I've seen you. Yes, I'm hiding. I don't want you to know that I'm there. And the money being given out to the people who are the poorest is a good little spending. And the money for the T-shirts and the meetings, and the money for the transportation creates. How much time Senator Del Rey got to talk? 7? Speaker. So when you
Mr. President, oh, that's all good, Mr. President, it's really no.
No.
The speaker's time having expired, might he be allowed the time to wrap up his presentation, which will hopefully be.
The question is that thank you, Minister. The question is that the speaker be given time to complete his presentation. Those in favor?
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to hurry up and then when the bill go through a year that it came before us and we never talk on everything. I talk on everything. So that when it come out with the child seat, I did talk about that too. I don't want it to be said that I never talk on everything. So additionally, the Prime Minister said recently that he found within the budget sufficient funds that he did not have to take a loan that was already approved by the Chinese government for the Montego Bay bypass. He said in his presentation, this is good for Jamaica. Even in a pandemic, we're able to develop our infrastructure with the resources of the people. That's what he said. He said, even in a pandemic. That's what I keep hearing him saying, pandemic, pandemic. He then made a choice as a prime minister to refuse a pre-approved loan, agreed loan of $43 billion, and said that the budget was strong enough to fund it. And somehow you're coming before us now that the same budget is not sufficiently strong to fund something 20 times less. Something 20 times less. So, yes. So, and that is the point that we're making, that the people's choices should be a priority. The democratic process should be a priority. Satisfactory representation should be a priority. It is not up to the person holding power to retain power until he feels that there is no basis for a new priority. What Senator Sinclair came here with were two mutually exclusive concepts, because local government and general elections are not on the same cycle. One is on a 4-year cycle. One is on a 5-year cycle. So if you claim you agree to fix elections, then it is unlikely that the two cycles will coincide, other than maybe every 8 years or some mathematical thing where they will combine at some point in time. So to that extent, to claim that you have no problem with fixed elections, which the JLP has been stating over and over, but they have gone, you used to say 360 minimum go back this election. He has gone 180, because this is not fixed election we're talking about. We're talking about due election. Due election means this is the deadline for it. You could have called it before, but this is the deadline. If you believe in fix, then you have a pass due for each fix. A person who believes in fix must hold themselves to due.
Simple logic.
But that has not been done. Let us give you some of the statements that you have made. It says, the time to change the system to fixed election date is now. Within our first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to fix the general election date in Jamaica. This will bring greater certainty to political process. Andrew Holness said that February 10th, 2016. 2016. Jamaica Prime Minister Andrew Holness has revealed that plans are on track for fixed election date. He said this in 2018. Holness told Parliament, and I quote, during his contribution to the budget debate in 2018, that he had instructed Justice Minister Delroy Chuck to table a ministry paper and draft legislation for the fixing of election date. Now to this date. But to this date, no. Well, he might have to either fire Minister Chuck or accept that he was being untruthful. Because the two cannot come together, the two cannot stand.
The job description wasn't met.
He says, listen what he said. If the country is serious about fiscal discipline, a fixed election date will be a necessary step. Now you're coming with the opposite. You're saying that your conversation about fiscal discipline would mean that election should be delayed. He said, I quote, if the country is serious about fiscal discipline, a fixed election date would be a necessary step. He goes further. He goes further. He goes further. No, Prime Minister Holness. He goes further. Not having fixed election dates come as a significant cost to business and delays our growth agenda. That is opposite to what we're having this paper. That's number 3 in reverse. That's number 2 in reverse. Both 2 and 3. He said, let I tell you, I gotta look. A significant cost to business. A significant cost to business. Hold on, man. All right. Hold on. Our growth agenda. I'm going to take a deep breath because the student is disrespectful. Give us some time. The ability to afford is based on our ability to grow. The Prime Minister himself, with the failed 5 and 4, suggested that the economy's growth would lead to more funds available to do the priorities of the society. So therefore, that part about we are being able to grow will make we can afford it. The impact on business will lead to destabilization in business uncertainty. That is why that is number 2 and 3. But it's opposite to something in what we put in here now. Opposite to something. He says further, fiscal discipline and obeying our fiscal rules, election can no longer be allowed to supervene a fiscal cycle. Neither should the country be disrupted by protracted periods of uncertainty. Wasn't the last 5 months total uncertainty?
Yes.
Everybody either prepared, unprepared. If the cleaner never bust say it now keep, we wouldn't know say it now keep. With the Minister of Security just randomly saying, you know, so we don't think it will keep because, you know, we're not too nothing right now. Then he comes. Neither, I'm quoting, on the silent thing, neither should the country be disrupted by protracted periods of uncertainty, mobilizing, demobilizing, and then mobilizing again according to the political expediency. In the last 3 years, you come here 3 times for which we mobilized and demobilized and mobilized and demobilized. The hypocrisy of liars is based on a seared conscience. Seared conscience. What do you mean not true? The duty of those not in power is to prepare for power. Yes, we were mobilized. I was on the road. That's why I see you in Bulby. I saw you. I saw you in Bulby. No. All right, let me just clear up something. If I use what is right for my advancement, I am still right. If you use what is wrong for your advancement, you're still wrong. So all of them think about remove Mark, one is doing it to keep Andrew. And by extension, one wrong. Yeah, one wrong. Yeah. Because the people want to vote him out here. The people want to vote him out. They want to vote him out. I think we'll get some vote from the IC. From the IC. Well, I know. Nobody. I like to do this. Yes, ma'am. Come again. Leaders, in 2020, me all right. In 2020, one thing, the truth might be an offense. It's not a shame. Leaders commit to legislation for fixed election dates. Rebutting Phillips, Prime Minister and leader of JLP, Andrew Holness, said fixed election dates remain an aspiration of his government. Defending, this is the new word that I'm like to say, an aspiration. If it is an aspiration and you have the power to do it, do it. Do it. It's a lie from the bottom of the pit of hell. Yes, man. When you process, he promised the end of that process in 100 days. 2,500 days. he has had 25 periods. Let me tell you what I don't understand. You don't understand that some people want to know how bold money get taken at SSL and what was the relationship with the government at the present. That's what people want to know. Yeah?
Damion. Senator Crawford.
Oh, but when Brick did a lay, never gone far.
Senator Crawford. Senator Crawford. It's my intention to break, you know. Can you give me an idea as to how long you have left?
Soon done, soon done.
What you call, sir?
Soon enough for you to break.
Should I take the break or...
No, sir, I'll be finished soon.
Okay.
Don't break now that we're talking about the real reasons.
Come again?
The real reasons. The real reasons. I can imagine, but this one still attack the truth. The truth is not always exciting or comfortable. They said, well, I stated, at least if it's one thing we achieve to show the lies that are being told. They said, and in addition to that, you may not know that we have placed training and all these things. JP calls for fixed election date. This is November 19, 2015. November 19, 2015. November 19, 2015. Leader of opposition business in the Senate. You know who that was? Tom Tavares Finson. Called for fixed election dates. Yes. This was agreed to by the Prime Minister, who posted it on his Facebook page on the 19th. Senator said in a release that this will, quote, be a means of ensuring that Jamaicans who want to vote are not disenfranchised by the whims and fancies of the touch of any Prime Minister and their masters. What has changed?
Something has changed.
What has changed now? Senator Finn, is a good thing in our vote. You have vote no. Fixed election dates would mean that there is proper alignment of the enumeration period and elections. We also know that disenfranchising 37,000 young Jamaicans will not contribute to bringing more people closer to participation and contribute to the distrust and apathy Jamaicans has towards the process. That is what you just said.
Yes.
Senator Finson was in agreement.
You know that my view has changed because of the experience of the United Kingdom.
Don't get yourself involved in the debate.
No, but you're using me as somebody that used to support.
I'm using history, not you, sir. I'm using history.
I look at, yes, because I've looked at the British. I looked at the British experience, English experience with fixed election date.
Yes.
And I'm not happy with the way it has panned out at all for them. It's not suiting the... If you copy,
Yeah.
come again.
All right, so you say you have changed your mind.
No, I don't want to take... You see, what Senator Brown is saying is that I don't copy anything. I had a view, and that view was that fixed election date would suit our democracy. When I look at the experience elsewhere, I have changed my view. And one is entitled to change their view because that is the nature of intellectual growth.
So therefore, sir, the
Yeah,
Prime
of course,
Minister
I
and
can
the Jamaica
change
Labour
my view
Party
too.
should come to state that they have changed their view.
I'm not talking
That
to the
they are
Prime
no
Minister.
longer-
I'm talking for me, who you're drawing an argument, you know, not the Prime
didn't try you,
Minister.
sir. You said something for which history proves that this side is not consistent as the truth would be. That's all that happened. What you said, what the Prime Minister said, what that side said is not consistent in what is being put forward today. It is actually total opposite of what is being put forward today. And the basis of that principle are the opposite of what you said at this particular point in time. And so therefore, because Portmore, if they want, should be able to decide with a referendum, because it can still be a parish, even if an election is called, because there are 15 or 14 others without representation, which is not the same for Portmore, which have their representation, their mayor and their councillors, because this whole fight about the parish is not for the parish, because economic affordability cannot be an excuse for the democratic process not being adhered to, because in worse times, elections were called by the same party and the same Prime Minister, because other countries have held their own elections in this global uncertainty, and they are outperforming Jamaica at this time. I hear them saying all kind of thing about miracle and all kind of thing, and they've been putting out Senator Scott Motley that the Financial Times have said that how well we are doing, and it is a miracle. It's a miracle. The people should be allowed to say they agree or disagree, because there's other information out there. The highest GDP growth in 2022. Jamaica is not in the top 30. So if Jamaica is the miracle, then Guyana 57.8, Fiji 12.5, Seychelles, Barbados 10.5. Barbados is 4th. If Jamaica is not in the top 30, Barbados is what then? Super miracle. Super miracle. Barbados had an election. They're growing at 10.5. Same economic circumstance. But wait, St. Kitts, did they have an election? Yes. They're at 5th. Jamaica not in the top 30. Hold on again. St. Lucia, did they have an election? Yes. Okay, good. IMF ranking, they're at 7th. Jamaica not in the top 30. So what you're claiming have not proven itself to be true. Because 3 of the countries that had elections in this global uncertainty is outperforming Jamaica at this point. GDP growth rate as per real GDP in annual percentage change as of October 2022. We can only state what is you don't want to use what they think should be used. This is the IMF report. The top 30, you're not in it. You're not in it. And these people had elections. Had elections. In 2020, I know, you know what this is like? When the people say, did SSL fund the JLP? Their response was, we don't have an account with SSL. We never asked if you bank with them. We asked if they bankrolled you. 2021, Bobby. 2022, I just quoted. So you come now to rebut me with 2021. Let me see if you just stop. Yes, you have to do it in the closure. All I'm saying is the evidence stands against what you're saying. Your past utterances stand against what you're saying. The principle of democracy stand against what you're saying. The only reason this can be done is because you have the numbers, and the people may want to change that. Give the people the...
So, having watched the final part, I've spoken on a number of videos as my own views as to the postponement of the election, so I won't go over that again. But I'm sure you have your own views and your own thoughts about the presentation and the substance of it. So I'm encouraging you to comment in the comment section down below and share your thoughts as to what you think, what you thought about the presentation by the Senator. Until our next video, I ask you once again to like, subscribe, and to share the video. And I want to thank you for your presence. And as always, until we meet again, is one love, one heart, manners, and respects.
Thanks for watching.